We're live.
Woo!
Let's
We are
go.
now live.
All right. We are the Constellation children, and we are finishing part 2 of Hamlet by Shakespeare.
Definitely
Yes.
all there for the first part.
All right. So we're going to go down the cast list for this. So Justin, who are you?
Hello, I'm Justin, and I am our Hamlet again, because y'all wanted this.
Damn straight we did.
Hell yeah.
You right?
Gay. Damn. Okay, Rose, who are you?
Hello, I'm Rose. I am Queen Gertrude, and also a doctor that's probably not gonna have a costume because it takes so fucking long to put on.
All right, Nori.
I am playing Claudius again, but this time I'm being femme because why not?
All right.
And that's it.
That's
Is
the
next. Mal.
Hello. I'm playing Ophelia.
Yay. Oh, I am next. I'm playing Polonius and also a sailor, or maybe multiple sailors. It's unclear. All
All the sailors.
Sabine is next.
Can't talk. I'm Sabine. I'm playing Horatio. I don't know this play.
You're my boyfriend. That's all you need to know.
Got everything.
Pixie is next.
Hello again. I am your friendly neighborhood ghost. Hello.
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 Yeah.
I am vibing. Hello.
Ruby is next.
I'm Ruby and I am playing Laertes, a gravedigger, and some gentlemen. I don't know if it's one or two, or we'll see.
All the sweet gentlemen.
And Nara is next.
Yeah, she is. I'm playing Rosencrantz, Osric, and I'm reading the stage directions.
Okay, Blitz is next.
I'm Blitz and I'll be playing Guildenstern and a captain.
All right, and I think that just leaves our new members. Sam is next.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm a lord.
And Lauren is the
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I'm the messenger, or the just the messenger.
Yay.
Yay! Now let's get in. Oh, recap.
Recap.
No, recap.
Recap.
Because this is
Well.
part 2.
Yeah. So you got to know about what happened before.
I don't remember what happened.
Well,
It's been 2 weeks. It's been too long.
Hamlet!
Okay.
You just
Take fan.
I'll
Didn't
read
you
out the
put
thing I sent last
a
night.
summary of Hamlet in the chat.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Somewhere.
Wait.
You should just
Guys,
watch
I
part
think
1.
we should do this
In all
before.
the press, someone probably died. I wasn't there for part 1, but
No one died yet, I think.
No, Hamlet.
No.
Wait.
The only
I've got
dead
it,
person
I've
in
got it.
Act 1 is a ghost that is possibly Hamlet's dad.
Who is already
So,
dead.
yeah.
So.
Hamlet part 1.
Hamlet's
Here
dad
we
is
go.
already dead.
Justin's saying the same
Technically,
thing.
the guy died in the play. Does that count?
Justin's
This
saying
is
things.
my summary.
sure, it counts. I win.
Be quiet.
For the press, someone died.
So,
The 3
Hamlet
elements
part
of the play.
part 1.
Wait.
Hamlet part 1.
Such
Here
as
we go.
gay
Shut
Jack.
up! Everyone shut up!
Hamlet part
Chaos
1. Here we go.
destiny.
So, we have Hamlet, who is a young adult, and his dad died like a month before the play starts. His mother has now gotten remarried to his uncle. Weird. And everyone calls him out on it, but no one pays attention. Great. Hamlet is also in a relationship with a girl named Ophelia. One night, Hamlet and his friends, Horatio, Marcellus, and Bernardo, all see the ghost of Hamlet's dad, who's also named Hamlet, but that he's referred to as ghost. Great. Essentially, the ghost and Hamlet create a plan that they are going to get revenge on Hamlet's uncle. And that plan involves Hamlet slowly pretending to go insane. What else happens? Fuck. Hamlet, by the time that we're about to start, Hamlet has broken up with Ophelia, his girlfriend. He is actually going insane as well as pretending to go insane. And he put on a play that was basically the murder of his dad, and his uncle ran out, and now he has been asked to go to his mother's room. Also, Hamlet doesn't really like his mom, to be honest.
Anyone who talks about Hamlet Oedipal theory is getting these hands.
Yeah, he hates
so
his
you
mom.
Oh, the hands.
He's like, anyways, that's what you missed on Hamlet. I think we're good to start.
It is a Disney
Did I
Channel.
get everything?
Now
Okay,
tune in
are we ready
this
to start?
time.
That was good.
Hey, we good? Awesome.
Did we lose someone?
I don't think we did.
I
Why
think
is
lost
there less
Sam.
people?
If you're not here, raise your hand.
Can
We lost
Someone is
Pretty
back.
sure-
someone's back?
I don't know the name.
Damn.
Is it Sam? They didn't show
It
up
is
as Sam.
Sam.
They still
Sam
have
is
okay.
back.
And now,
Okay,
Sam,
we are all
sorry.
here again.
That makes
All
it
right, are we good to start?
everyone
All
go.
here.
Let's
We are
start.
good to start.
Go.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay, scene 3.
I think
Enter
we're good.
King. Yes, enter King, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure, hazard so near as doth the owlie grow out of his brows.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
The single and peculiar life is bound with all the strength and armor of the mind to keep itself from annoyance, but much more the spirit upon whose real depends and rests the lives of many. The sense of majesty that is not alone, but like a gulf, doth draw what's near it, with it. Or it is a massive wheel fixed on the summit of the highest mount, to whose huge spokes 10,000 lesser things are mortised and adjoined, which, when it falls, each small announcement, petty consequence, attends to the boisterous ruin. Never alone the king sigh, with a general groan.
Arm you, I pray, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put about this fear, which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us. Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern exit. Enter Polonius.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras, I'll convey myself to hear the process. A warrant shall tax him home, and as you said, and wisely was it said, 'tis meet that some more audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should o'erhear the speech of vantage. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord.
Polonius exits.
Oh, offence is rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder, pray I cannot, though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause, where I shall first begin, and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it as white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up, my fault is past, but oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen, may one be pardoned and retain the offense? The corrupted currents of the world, offence's gilded hands may shove by justice, and oft is seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling, there the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled even to the teeth and foreheads of our faults to give evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can, what can it not? Yet, what can it when one cannot repent? O wretched state, O bosom black as death, O limed soul struggling to be free. Art more engaged? Help, angels! Make easy, bow stubborn knees with hearts and strings of steel. Be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
He kneels. Enter Hamlet.
Oh, shit. Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is a praying, but now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven. And so he goes to heaven, and I am so revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do the same villain send to heaven. Why this hire and salary, not revenge? He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown as flush as May, and now his audit stands, who knows save heaven. But in our circumstance, and of course, in course of thought, to take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Up sword, and know thou a more horrid hint, when he is drunk, asleep, or in his rage, and in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, a game, a swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it. Then trip him, and that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays, this physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
Hamlet exits. The king rises.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He exits. Scene 4. Enter Queen and Polonius.
He will come straight. Look, you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. Pray you be round with him.
Mother, mother, mother.
I'll warrant you. Fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Polonius hides behind the arras. Enter Hamlet.
Now, mother, you have my father much offended.
Okay. Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have... I did misread that. Oh well. Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
My doc is... Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
Not by the rude, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and, would it not were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come and sit you down, and you shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass, where you may in the inmost part of you. Let me see the inmost.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help, ho!
What, ho, help!
How now, a rat? Dead for the Duke had dead.
He kills Polonius by thrusting a rapier through the arras.
Oh, I am slain!
Oh me, what hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed this is.
A bloody deed, and almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, it was my word.
He pulls Polonius' body from behind the arras.
Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better, take thy fortune. Thou findest to be too busy and is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands, please, Sit you down, and let me wring your hearts, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not brazed it so, that it be proof and bulwark against sense.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and set a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dictator's oath. Oh, such a deed as from the bloody of concentration plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face does glow over the solidity and compound mass, with heated visage against the doom, is thought sick at the act.
Ay me, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow, Hyperion curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill, a combination and form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Ha! Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment, and what judgment would step from this to this? Sense sure you have, else could you not have motion, but sure, that sense is apollux, for madness would not err, nor sense to ecstasy was never thralled, but it reserved some quantity of choice to serve in such difference. What devil was it that thus hath cozened you at hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans all, or but a sickly part of one true sense could not so mope. Oh shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones, to flaming youth let virtue be as wax and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason panders will.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an ensembled bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part in the tithe of your presidented lord, a vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire and the rule, that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
No more.
A king of shreds and patches.
Enter ghost.
Save me and hover over with your wings, your heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come your tardy son to chide that lapsed in time and passion? Let's go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say.
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul, and see in weakest bodies strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you, that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Forth at your eyes your spirits wildly peep, and, as the sleeping soldiers in alarm, your bedded hair, like life and excrements, start up and stand and end. O gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper, sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him! On him! Look you how pale he glares. His form and cause conjoined, preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there. Look how it steals away. My father, in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes even now out at the portal.
Ghost exits. Bye.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse as yours doth temperamentally keep time and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I've uttered. Bring me to the test, and the matter will reward which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering uniction of your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whiles rank corruption mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor. Forgive me, this is my virtue, for, in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg. Yeah, curb and woo for leave to do him good.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. That monster, custom, who all sense doth eat, of habits devil is angel yet in this, that to the use of actions fair and good, he likewise gives a frock or livery that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness for the abstinence, the next more easy. For use almost can change the stamp of nature, and either the devil or throw him out with wondrous potency. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you for the same loud Lord.
He points to Polonius.
I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I should be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. This bad begins, and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this, by no means, that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him, for a pair of reachy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know, for whose that's but a queen, fair, sober, wise, would from a paddock, from a bat, a gib, such dear concernings hide? Who would do so? Now, in despite of sense and secrecy, unpeg the basket on the house's top, let the birds fly, and like the famous ape to try conclusions in the basket creep and break your own neck down.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe, what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that.
Alack, I had forgot, 'tis so concluded on.
There's letter sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged, they bear the mandates. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work, for 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard, and it shall go hard, but I will delve 1 yard below their minds, and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night indeed. This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who is in life a foolish prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother.
They exit. Hamlet studying in Polonius. Act 4, Scene 1. Enter King and Queen with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate, 'tis fit we understand them. Where is your son?
Dispel this place on us a little while.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern exit.
Ah, mine own lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries, a rat, and in this brainish apprehension kills the untimid old man.
Oh, heavy deed! It had so been with us, had we been there. His liberty is full threats to all. To you, yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of hunt this mad young man. But so was our love, we would not understand what was most fit, but, like the owner of a foul disease, to keep from divulging, let it feed, even on the pith of life. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, o'er whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal's base, shows itself pure, he weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we ship him hence. This vile deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern!
Enter Guildenstern and Rosencrantz.
Friends both, go you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet he hath dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, hasten this.
Guildenstern exits and Rosencrantz does too.
Come, Gertrude, we'll call up our wisest friends and let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Whose whisper o'er the world's diameter, as level as the cannon to his blank, transports his poisoned shot, may miss our name and hit the wordless air. Oh, come away, my soul is full of discord and dismay.
They exit. Scene 2, enter Hamlet.
Safely stowed.
Gentlemen from within. I think this is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern because they're about to enter. So, Hamlet! Lord Hamlet!
But soft, what noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come.
Yes, they do. Enter Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and others. What have you done, my lord, with that body?
Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where it is, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord.
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities, but such officers do the best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape an apple in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed, last to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I am glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Bring me to him. Hide Foxton, after all.
They exit. Scene 3, enter king and 2 or 3. 3. Guess it doesn't matter who.
I have sent to seek him and find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on him? He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment but their eyes. And where 'tis so the offender scourge is weighed, but never the offence, to bear all smooth and even. This sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown by desperate appliance are relieved 10 or not at all.
Enter Rosencrantz.
How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Ho! Bring in the lord! They enter with Hamlet.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eaten at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fed all creatures else to fat us, and we fed ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but to 1 table. That's the end.
Alas, alas.
A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed on that worm.
Dost thou mean by this?
Nothing, but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay till you come.
The attendants exit.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready and the wind at help. The associates tend and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewst our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. And so, my mother, come for England.
He exits.
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not, I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done that else leans on the affair. Pray you, make haste.
All but the king exits.
And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, since my great power thereof may give thee sense, since thy cicatrice looks raw and red after the Danish sword, and thy free awe pay homage to us, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports it full, by letters congruing that effect, the present death of dear Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the heretic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys will ne'er begin.
He exits. Scene 4. Enter Fortinbras. Fortinbras captain with army. And so enter Hamlet, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and others.
Good sir, whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir,
How purpose, sir, I pray you?
against some part of Poland.
Who commands them, sir?
The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras.
Goes it against the main of Portland, sir, or for some frontier?
Truly to speak, and with no addition, we have to gain a little patch of ground that have in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats, 5 I would not farm it, nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole. A ranker rate should it be sold in
Why then, the Pollock never will defend it?
Yes, it is already garrisoned.
2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of this straw. It is the imposthume of much wealth and peace that inward breaks and shows no cause without why the man dies. I humbly thank you, sir.
God be with you, sir.
He exits. Will please you go, my lord?
I'll be straight. I'll be with you straight. Go a little before.
Alba Hamlet exits.
How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not the capability and godlike reason to fuss in us unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the events, of thought which quartered hath but one part wisdom, and ever 3 parts coward, I do not know why yet I live to say, this thing's to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me, witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit with divine ambition puffed makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure, to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Rightly to be great is not to stir without great arguments, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at the stake. How stand I, then, to have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame, I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain? Oh, from this time forth my thoughts be bloody or be nothing worth.
He exits. Scene 5. Enter Horatio, Queen, and a gentleman. A singular one. There he is.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. They aim at it, and botch the words up to fit their own thoughts, which, as her winks and nods and gestures yield them, indeed would make one think they might be thought, though nothing sure, yet much unhappily.
For good she was spoken with, for she may strew. Oh, I didn't highlight that. Dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
The gentleman exits. Bye.
Her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy's guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Enter Ophelia, distracted.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know for another one, but his cockle hat and staff, and his sandal shoon?
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you? Nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone. Oh ho.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you, mark. White he's shrewd as the mountain snow.
Enter King.
Alas, look here, my lord.
Larded all with sweet flowers, which be hemped to the ground did not go, with true lover's shower.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God dilled you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray, let's have no words of this. But when they ask what you it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning's bee time, and I a maid at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and dopped the chamber door, let in the maid, that out a maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, without an oath, I'll make an end on it. By gis and by Saint Charity, alack and faith for shame. Young men will do it, if they come to it. By cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, so would I adorn by yonder sun, and thou hadst not come to my bed.
How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose by weep to think they would lay him I this cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
He exits.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you.
Horatio exits.
Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death, and now behold. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he the most violent author of his own just removed. The people muddied, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers. For good Polonius's death, and we have done but greenly, in hugger-mugger to inter him, poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, feeds on his wonder, keeps himself in the clouds, and wants not buzzers to infect his ears with pestilent speeches of his father's death, wherein necessity of matter braggart will nothing stick our person to arraign in the ear and ear. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this, like to a murdering piece in many paces, gives me superfluous death.
A noise within.
Black, what noise is this?
Attend. Where's my Switzers? Let them guard the door.
Enter a messenger.
What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. The ocean, overpeering of his list, eats not the flats with more impetuous haste than young Laertes in a riotous head. Overbears your officers. The rabble call him lord, and as the world were now but to begin, antiquity forgot, custom not known, the ratifiers and props of every word, they cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues applauded to the clouds. Laertes shall be king, Laertes king.
A noise within.
How cheerfully on the false trail they cry, oh, this is cower, you false Danish dogs.
The doors are broke.
Enter Laertes with others.
Where is this king? Sirs, stand you all without.
No, let's come in.
I pray you, give me leave.
We will.
I thank you. Keep the door.
The followers exit.
Oh, thou vile king, give me my father.
Calmly, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude, do not fear our person. There's such a divinity doth hedge a king, that treason can but peep to what it would, acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell, allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence, let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world. And for my means I'll husband them so well they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father, it is written in your revenge that sweepstakes you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser.
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends thus far I'll ope my arms, and, like the kind life-rendering pelican, repass them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman, that I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall level to your judgment's fair as day does your eye.
A noise within. Let her come in!
How now? What noise is that?
Enter Ophelia.
Oh, heat, dry up my brains! 'Tis 7 times salt burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heaven, thy madness shall be paid with weight till our scale turn the beam. Oh, Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia! Oh, heavens, is it possible a young maid wit should be as mortal as an old man's life? Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis fine, it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey nonny, 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 hey nonny. And in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
You must sing a down, and you call him a down. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter.
This nothing's more than matter.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And there is pansies, and that's for thoughts.
A document in madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you, and columbines. There's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it herb of grace o' Sundays. You must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy, I would give you some violets, and they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. For Bonnie's sweet robin is all my joy.
Thoughts and afflictions, passion, hell itself she turns to favour and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He will come again. He will never come again. His beard was as white as snow. All flaxen was his poll. He is gone. He is gone. And we cast away mourn. God, a mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God. God, will you?
He added,
Do you see this, O God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, for you deny me right. Go but apart, make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me, if by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched. We will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we call ours, to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labour with your soul to give it its due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, nor hatchment o'er his bones, no noble rite nor formal ostentation, cry to be heard, as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call it in question.
So you shall, and where the offence is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
they exit. Scene 6. Enter Horatio and others.
What are they saying that they would speak with me?
Seafaring men, sir. They say they have letters for you.
Let them come in.
The gentleman exits.
I do not know from which part of the world I should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet.
Enter sailors.
God bless you, sir.
Let him bless thee too.
He shall, sir, and please him. There's a letter for you, sir. It came from the ambassador that was bound for England. If your name be Horatio, as I am, let to know it is.
He hands Horatio a letter.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of a very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compound velour, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king know. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. Yet are they too much? Are they much too light for the bore of the matter? These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencraft and Guildenstern held their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou hast knowest thine Hamlet. Come, I will give you way. I will give you way for these for your letters, and do it the speedier that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Hey, exit. Scene 7. It's okay, it's gonna be okay. Enter King and Laertes. Shit.
Now you must your conscience acquaint seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you have heard with a knowing ear that he which hath your father slain pursued my life.
It well appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and so capital in nature, as by your safety, greatness, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, but yet to me they're strong. The queen his mother lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she is so conjunctive to my life and soul that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public count I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affection, work like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, but not where I have aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age for her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it is past time. You shortly shall hear of more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine.
Enter a messenger with letters.
How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them, of him that brought them.
There it is, you shall hear them. Leave us.
The messenger exits. Bye.
I guess I'll read. Reads, high and mighty, you shall know I am set, naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow I shall beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first acting your pardon, thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked, and in postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Ay, my lord, so you will not o'errule me into peace.
To thine own peace, if he be now returned, as checking at his voyage that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit, now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice, and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, the rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing. For a quality wherein they say you shine, your sum of parts did not together pluck such envy from him, as did that one, and in my regard of the most unworthy siege.
What part is that, my lord?
A ribbon in the very cap of youth, yet needful too, for youth no less becomes the light and careless livery that it wears, than settles his age in sables in its weed, importing health and graveness. 2 months since, here was a gentleman of Normandy I had seen myself and served against, the French, and they can well on horseback, but this gallant had witchcraft in it. He grew unto his seat, and to such wondrous doing brought his horse, as he had been encorpsed and demi-natured with the brave beast. So far he topped my foe, that I, in forgery of shapes and tricks, did come short what he did.
A Norman, was it?
A Norman.
Upon my life, Lamord.
The very same.
I know him well. He's the brooch indeed, and a gem of all the nation.
He made a confession of you, and gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defence, and for your rapier most especial, that he cried out, 'Twould be a sight indeed if one could match you, the scrimers of their nation. He swore had neither motion, guard, nor eye, if you opposed them. Sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy, that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play with you. Now, out of this,
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof. Time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it. And nothing is it like a goodness still, for goodness, growing like a pleurisy, dies in his own too much. That we should do when we would, for this would changes, and hath abatements and delays many, as there are tongues, hands, are accidents, and then this should, like a spendthrift sty that hurts by easing, but to the quick of the ulcer, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son, more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place, indeed, should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds, but, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returns, shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence and set double a varnish of the fame the Frenchman gave you, and bring you in fine together. And a wager on your heads, he, being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unaction of a mountebank so mortal that but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood from no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that, if I gull him slightly, it may be death.
Let's think further of this. Why, what convenience, both of time and means, may fit our shape, if this should fail, and our drift look through our bad performance? 'Twere better not assayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second that might hold, if we did blast in proof. Soft, let me see. I'll make a solemn wager in your cunnings. I had. When, in your motion, you are hot and dry, and make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereon, but sipping, if he chance escaped your venom struck, our purpose may hold there. But stay, what noise?
Enter the queen. My liege.
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sisters drown, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There is a willow grows askant the brook, that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she make, of crow flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds, clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old lauds, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned, drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of 5 that fain would blaze, but that this folly drowns it.
Yes, it's
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now I fear this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
that's it. Act 5, Scene 1. Enter the gravedigger. The gravedigger digs and sings. Not here, but, you know.
I'm a different person now. In youth when I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract all the time for my behove. Oh, methought there was a nothing, a meat.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business? He sings in grave making.
Custom hath made him it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier sense.
That age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me into the land as if I'd never been such.
He digs up a skull.
That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. How knave the jowls it to the ground of, as if 'twere Cain's jawbone that did it the first murder. This might be the pate of a politician, which this ass now overreaches, one that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier, which could say, "Good morrow, sweet lord. How dost thou, sweet lord?" This might be my lord, such a one that praised my lord, such a one's horse when he went to beg it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Why, even so, and now my lady's worms chapless and knocked about the mazzard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, and we had the trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more the breeding, but to play at logits with them? Mine ache to think on it.
A pickaxe and a spade, for and a shrouding sheet. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made, such a guest is meet.
He digs up more skulls.
There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now, his qualities, his cases, his tenors, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his actions of battery? This fellow might be in his time a great buyer of land, with his statues, his reconnaissances, his finances, his double vouchers, his recoveries. Is this the fine of his fines and the recovery of his recoveries, to have his fine plate full of fine dirt? Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length of breadth of a pair of indentures? The very conveyances of his land will scarcely lie in this box, and must the inhibitor himself have no more? Ha!
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
Aye, my lord, and of calf skins too.
They are sheeps and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak this fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made for such a guest as me.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You lie out on it, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. Turn away again from me to you.
What man thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir. But rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. By the Lord, Horatio, this 3 years I have took note of it. The age is grown so picked that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heel of the courtier, he galls his kibe. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it the day that our last king Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was that very day that young Hamlet was born, he that is mad and sent into England.
Ay, Mary. Why was he sent into England?
Why, because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There is men as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, e'en with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I've been a sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he not be rotten before he die, as we have many pocky courses nowadays that will scarce hold the laying in, he would last you some 8 year or 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that he will keep out water a great while, and your water is a sore decay of your horse and dead body. Here's a skull now hath lie new in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A horse and mad fellow's it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Sir Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
E'en that.
He takes the skull.
Let me see. Alas, poor York. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath bore me on his back 1,000 times. And now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed. I know not how oft. Where be your gibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning, quite chapfallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick, to this favor she must come. Make her laugh to that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked in this fashion in the earth?
E'en so?
And smelled so? Pah.
E'en
He
so,
puts
my
the
lord.
skull down.
E'en so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
It were to consider too curiously to consider so.
No, faith not a jot, but to follow him hither with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it, as thus Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust, the dust is earth, of earth we make loam, and why of that loam, whereto he was converted, might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth which kept the earth in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter's flaw.
Enter King Laertes, King, Queen Laertes, Lord's attendants, and the corpse of Ophelia, with a doctor of divinity.
But soft a while. Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is this they follow? And with such maimed rites, this doth betoken the corpse they follow did with desperate hand fordo its own life. 'Twas of some estate. Couch we a while the mark.
They step aside. Sorry.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth. Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, but that great command always weighs the order. She should in ground unsanctified been lodged till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is allowed her virgin krantz, her maiden struments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead, to sing a requiem and such rest to her, as to peace-parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia.
Sweet to the sweet, farewell. I hoped thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woe, full 10 times treble on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Yeet.
He leaps in the grave.
Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flatter mountain you have made, to o'ertop old Pelion or the skyish head of blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose praise of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and make them stand like wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul.
Thou prayest not well.
They grapple.
I prithee take thy fingers from my throat, for though I am not splentive and rash, yet I have in me something dangerous, which let thy wisdom fear. Hold off thy hand.
Pluck them asunder.
Hamlet! Hamlet!
Gentlemen!
Good, my lord. Be quiet.
Hamlet and Laertes are separated.
Why? I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him.
Swoons, show me what thou'st do. Would weep? Would it fight? Would it fast? Would it tear thyself? Would it drink up Isil, eat a crocodile? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us, till our ground, singeing his pate against the burning zone, make Ossa like a wart. Nay, and thou wilt mouth, I'll rant as well as thou.
This is mere madness, and thus a while the fit will work on him. Anon, as patient as the female dove, when that her golden couplets are disclosed, his silence will sit drooping.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will meow, the dog will have his day.
Hamlet exits.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him.
Horatio answers,
Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to present push. Good Gertrude, set someone watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet thereby shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
they answered. Scene 2. Enter Hamlet and Horatio.
Still much for this, sir. Now shall you see the other. You do remember all the circumstance.
Remember it, my lord.
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Methought I lay worse than the mutines in the bilboes. Rashly, and praised be rashness for it, let us know our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall, and that should learn us there's a divinity that shapes our ends. Rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me, in the dark roped I find out them, had my desire fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unfold their grand commission, where I found Horatio, a royal knavery, an exact command, larded with many several sorts of reasons, importing Denmark's health and England's too, with such bugs and goblins in my life that on the supervised no leisure bated, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe. My head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure.
As you may have imagined, he hands in a paper. Sorry.
But wilt thou hear now how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus venetted round with villains, or I could make a prologue to my brains. They had begun the play. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. I once did hold it, as our statists do, a baseness to write fair, and labored much how to forget that year learning. But, sir, now it did me human service. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was as his faithful tributary, as love between them the palm might flourish, as peace should still her wheaten garland wear, and stand a comma between their amities, and many such like ases of great charge, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should those bearers put to sudden death, no shriving time allowed.
How was this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinant. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal, folded up the writ upon the form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, changeling never known. Now, the next day was our sea fight, and what was this was sequence thou knowest already.
So Guildenstern and Rosencraft go to it?
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow. 'Tis dangerous when the baser nature comes between the past and the fell incensed points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not, think thee, stand me now upon? He hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage, it is not perfect conscience. To quit him with this arm, is it not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England what the issue of the business there. Oh, yeah. What is the issue of the business there?
It will be short. The interman's mine, and a man's life no more than to say one. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favors. But sure, the bravery of his grief did put me in a towing passion.
Peace. Who comes here?
Enter Osric. Is that how you say it? Osric?
Osric.
Okay, courtier. Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost thou know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy state is more gracious, for 'tis a virtue to know him. He hath much land and fertile. Let a beast be lord of beasts, and his crib shall stand at the king's mess. 'Tis a chore, but, as I say, spacious in the possession of dirt.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I shall impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use. 'Tis for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is very hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northernly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet, methinks, it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry. As to her, I cannot tell you. My lord, his majesty bade me to signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
He motions to Osric to put on his hat. Nay, my lord, for it is in good faith. Nay, good my lord, for my it is in good faith. Sir, he is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, of very soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak filially of him, he is the card of calendar. He is the card of calendar of gentry, for you shall find in him the countenance of what parlous gentleman would see. This phone is so tiny. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get closer to my face.
It's okay. It's okay. Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you, though I know to divide him inventorily would dozy the arithmetic of memory, but yaw neither, in respect of his quick sail, but in the verity of extolments, yet I take him to be a soul of great article, and his infusion of such dearth and rareness as to make true diction of him. His semble is his mirror, and who else would trace him, his umbrage, nothing more.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
The concernancy, sir. Why do we wrap the gentleman in our more rawer breath?
Sir?
Is it not possible to understand in another tongue? You will to it, sir, really.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
His purse is empty already. All his golden words are spent.
Of him, sir.
I know you are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir. Yet in faith, if you did, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence, but to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon. But in the imputation laid on him by them, he has made his unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons, but well...
The king, sir, has wagered with him 6 Barbary horses, against the which he has impounded, as I take it, 6 French rapiers and poniards, with their signs as girdle, hangers, and so. 3 of the carriages, in faith, are very dear to fancy, very responsible to the hilts, most delicate carriages, and of very liberal conceit.
What call you the carriages?
I knew you must be edified by the margin you have had done.
The carriages, sir, are the hangers.
The phrase would be more germane to the matter if we could carry a cannon by our sides. I would, it might be, hangers till then. But on. 6 Barbary horses against 3 French swords, there are signs, and 3 liberal conceited carriages. That's the French bet against the Danish. Why is this all impawned, as you call it?
The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between you yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and will come to immediate trial if your lordship will vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of the day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I deliver you? Shall I deliver you, even so?
To this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours.
Osric exits.
He did well to commend it himself. There are no tongues else for his turn.
This lapwing runs away with the shawl on his head.
He did comply, sir, with his dug before he sucked. Thus has he, and many more of the same breed that I know the drossy age dotes on, only got the tune of his time, and out of an habit of encounter, a kind of yeasty collection, which carries them through and through the most fanned and winnowed opinions, but blow them to their trial. The bubbles are out.
Oops, okay, enter a lord.
My lord, his majesty commended him to you by young Osric, who brings back to him that you attend to him in the hall. He sends to know if your pleasure hold to play with Laertes, or that you will take longer time.
I am constant of my purposes. They follow the king's pleasure, if his fitness speaks. Mine is ready now, or whensoever, provided I be so able as now.
The king and queen are all coming down.
In happy time.
The queen desires you to use some gentle entertainment to Laertes before you fall to play.
She well instructs me.
You will lose, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds, but thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery, but it is such a kind of gang-vining as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say that you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, since no man of aught he leaves knows what is to leave bedtimes. Let be.
A table prepared. Enter trumpet, drums, and officers with cushions. King, queen, Osric, and all the state. Foils, daggers, flagons of wine, and Laertes. My king.
Come, Hamlet. Come and take this hand from me.
He puts Laertes' hand into Hamlet's.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong, but pardon it as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, is here proclaim with madness. Was it Hamlet wronged, Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be taken away, and when he's not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet does it not. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. For it be so, Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming for a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow over the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge, but in my terms of honour I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement till by some elder martyrs of known honour I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungored. But till that time I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play? Give us the foils, come on.
One for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, Sick fiery off, indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace has laid the odds of the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is better, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all a length.
Hey, my good lord. Prepare to play.
Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnances fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup a union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have won. Give me the cups. And let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoner without, the cannons to the heavens to the earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Trumpets the while.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
They play.
One.
No.
Judgments.
A hit. A very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health.
He drinks and then drops the pearl in the cup. Drum, trumpets, and shot.
Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come.
They play.
Another hit. What say you?
A touch. I do confess it.
Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
She lifts the cup.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
She drinks.
Is the poisoned cup? It is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
Do not think it.
And yet it is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes. You do but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you, sir? Come on.
They play. Nothing either way.
Have at you now.
Laertes hurts. Laertes wounds Hamlet. Then in scuffling they change rapiers, and Hamlet wounds Laertes.
Heart them, they are incensed.
Nay, come on, come again.
The queen falls. Oh, it's my line still. Look to the queen there, Ho.
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How's it, Laertes?
Why, as a woodcock to mine own spring, Osric.
He falls.
I am justly killed with mine own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink. I am poisoned.
She dies.
Oh, villainly. Ho, let the door be locked. Treachery, seek it out.
Osric exits.
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour's life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point envenomed too. Then venom to thy work.
He hurts the king.
Treason!
Treason!
Oh, yet defend me, friends. I am but hurt.
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane. Drink off this poison. Is thy union here?
Forcing him to drink the poison. There's still another line.
Follow my mother.
King dies.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
He dies.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or the audience to this act. I had but time, as this fell sergeant's death, and is strict in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you, but let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest, report me and my cause aright, to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
He picks up the cup.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go. By heaven, I'll have it. Oh God, Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown, shall I leave behind me? If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story.
I'll march afar off and shout within.
What warlike noise is this?
Enter Osric. Young Fortinbras with conquests come from Poland. To the ambassadors of England gives his warlike volley.
Oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite overcrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras has my dying voice. So tell him, with the occurrence, more and less, which have solicited the rest of silence. Oh.
He dies.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
The end.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
They sure are.
Woo! My computer's gonna die.
Shakespeare words are hard.
It's hard.
Like just the sentence structure, I just don't expect like the is's and the it's to be where they are, and then I'm like, oh, what I'm saying doesn't make sense because I missed that.
And as soon as you're not following the sentence anymore, you're fucked.
Also, I didn't realize I could say goodnight, sweet prince, which
Yeah,
is the best line.
You get to make everyone cry.
It's like all the gays.
I have the best line at the end. Character movie. Last night when I opened the script and I was like looking at the title page and I was like, hang on, why am I a character? And I read the note and it was like, oh, I did this for a movie. And I was like, what did I do that made me a character? I forgot. And then I scrolled down to the end.
Whining so much about it
And
when I was
just
talking
saw
about
this
making
line.
cuts.
And I was like, oh my God, I forgot I did that.
Do we have,
Thank you.
Do we have credits?
Yes,
We
credits.
do have credits. All right.
Did someone post the art on the Insta story, or should I do that? Ooh.
I can do it in a bit after. How do I do this?
Yeah, well, remind me next time we do Shakespeare to actually read the play first.
Gang.
Did you forget
Alright,
to change
so-
some of the art?
Oh, guys, I regret to inform you guys. So the organizers here, we had a plan to do a B movie reading on.
I forgot about that.
On International B Day, and we missed it. We missed it.
Oh my gosh.
What?
We missed B Day. It was on a Saturday. It was perfect, but we missed it.
Oh,
No.
I'm so
I
sorry.
feel ashamed.
You should be.
Well, I
Shame
think
on you.
Rose, you should feel the most ashamed. It was your idea, so you're the one who knew when B Day was.
Straight up.
Pinned it. I pinned when B-Day was. I pinned it. So
Yeah.
we wouldn't forget.
did.
Well, we
And then we
did.
did.
We should have put it in our calendars or something.
So sad. It is-
Wait, when was B-Day?
It was August 15th.
August 15th.
Was it the day we missed?
2 weeks ago?
that would have been the
No,
original.
The first
Hamlet.
part of.
Or no, it would have been the day after the Hamlet reading.
Yeah, but that weekend.
Yeah.
We could have moved it one over and
I can't believe
Just
we did.
liked our tweet.
Can we do credits now?
Can we do
Yeah,
credits?
okay, credits.
Yeah, credits.
Credits though?
So this is us doing Hamlet. Cast drawings
really?
are by me and by Nori. Kidding me. There we go. All right. We have Pixie as the ghost, Justin as Hamlet, Rose as Queen Gertrude,
You
and
didn't swap out the art.
wait, you did different art?
Yes, I did.
I swapped out the other art. I just thought that this one was the same.
New is similar but different because I
This
made
is
it
really
Rose.
tragic.
I'll just send it to Rose.
No, it
Rose-
was just that one picture. I swapped out the other art.
Well,
Okay.
See, look,
I
Sabine
can't
swapped
believe.
out.
on our
I can't
Instagram
believe you
for the
did this to me.
actual.
Fake
Sabine
friend.
Okay, so
swapped
Sabine is
out.
done.
Fake friend.
Yeah,
Look,
it is different.
Sabina's Horatio. See, look, I did a thing. So anyway, we have Mal is Ophelia. Mal is Ophelia. Me as and Anara
good.
as Rosencrantz and Blitz
Holla.
as Guildenstern. And I actually didn't
Oh,
swap
that's
out this drawing
funny.
because I didn't. And
Okay.
I didn't make another drawing for that one because it looked similar enough.
Oh
So
my god, I love the
so then we have Ruby as the Gravedigger and Rose as the Doctor of Divinity.
I want that outfit in real life, though.
Me too.
You should.
I have to get.
Same.
One day I have to show you guys my trench coat. It reminded me.
Do.
You can't see, but half of what I wasn't doing during the longest scene was just makeup. Anyways,
Valid.
and you can't
Deeply
see it.
valid. We need to finish the credits though.
Yeah,
Yes.
then we have Blitz as the captain of Fortinbras army and Anara as I can't see the name.
Osric.
You can move the faces. you
Yeah, I
know.
moved it now. Now we have Nori and Lauren as the two messengers.
But it's just
And
Lauren.
so now is when I need to ask, how do you draw like you're running out of time? And the answer is you draw very badly. So
Okay. Nice view.
Oh my god.
Yes, Lord. Says Lord. Yes, Lord.
So yeah, we have all of
Lord,
this.
is Lord.
So go through this.
Is Lord.
Oh,
Is Lord. Oh my god.
All of that is a lie. Mo made it up.
It's not okay.
Wait.
Laura, stage directions.
hello.
Yay, stage
Hey.
direction.
Where's the duck? I need him for just a moment. The duck is in a drawer. Wait one moment.
Wait, have we not thanked John?
We didn't thank
I'm
John.
realizing, did we not thank John?
Where's
Thank you,
John?
John, for bringing us together.
Hey,
Actually,
Who made this?
Do you want
John,
me to change it?
Who made this
John.
slideshow? I just want to talk. I just want to talk.
I want to know for a
Right
friend.
now.
Just want to.
actually, John, I feel like, buddy, you got to stop streaming at the same time as us. It's like you don't even care.
That's true.
It's like you're not even
Yeah,
a
that's very
fan.
true.
He shouted
Like,
us
can
out.
you
He should-
stop?
He shouted us out.
We should stream
He
it.
did shout us
Shout
out.
us out,
He was
right.
just streaming.
We should stream to YouTube and Twitch so he can just post stuff.
No, he
We
streams on
thank our new members, Sam and Lauren. We thank
Thank you, Sam and
No,
Lauren.
no,
we thank the people who watched us, and we thank John for bringing us together, even though he's
We do
streamed
thank
at the exact
John.
same time that we
We
streamed.
love you, John.
Thank
we
you.
still love you,
Great
John.
Kinda sus.
Whoa, we did it. Woo.
Yay!
It's over, guys. We
I
will
got to
speak
wear this
proper
dress
English next time. We promise.
Do we
should
promise?
say Beowulf
What
next
was I
time,
gonna
guys.
say?
Beowulf in Old English.
We can always do
I know.
catch up on the B movie
I know
we
it's
missed,
not
and then do
English.
and then
Missed
do
the B
HMV
movie. Now we
later.
have to wait a whole year to do B movie.
No. Okay, wait. That was no. We should do it anyways.
We
should.
But it won't be on V-Day.
Why is this lacy veil so hot? I don't understand. Like, I am
Lace
melting.
is insanely hot. I'm melting.
Okay,
Almost from a full
are we gonna end the
wait.
Oh, we need to end the stream.
Oh yeah, we're still streaming. Hi,
I
people.
forgot. My
All right. Well,
Who was here
keep on
to watch?
watching or popping in.
Thank you,
Bye.
Frog. Thank you,
Good night,
Margot.
sweet prince.
Term, if you're here.